Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Jonathan Talk. Now, in today's episode, I would like to discuss something. Like, last episode, I talked about politics. That was good, but today's episode, I'm going to be talking about another serious thing. But I also want to make sure I talk about, how to help it. What I'm talking about now is fear. So, when you guys are wondering what kind of fear, just fear in general, that's the thing. In life, people are scared. They're always scared. And I know what you're going to tell me, like, oh, you do realize even if you're going to advise us to conquer our fears, like, you do know that you're just saying what everyone else says. Okay, so go to a new video. But I'm not just gonna say what everyone else is saying. I just want to make sure that you guys also understand. I'm speaking as a person myself, because I had a situation where fear took over, and that's the three things I'm gonna talk about. Like the types of fear, my story of fear, and how to not just conquer it, but how to go through with it. So, fear is basically when you're scared or when you feel like a feeling that's gonna traumatize you, makes you feel worried and sad. See, the thing is, everybody's scared. But it's not that, if everybody's scared, it's more like how scared are we to the point where the fear takes over us and messes with us. Like, everybody could have one type of fear, but one people could have multiple. To the point it becomes a phobia. Like, they're so scared of it that, they can't go near it too much. And then they're so scared of it, like, they can't go near it, they shiver, and then it feels like a heart attack. That's the kind of fear it gets. And then it gets more worse later on. Like, there's like arachnophobia, or like germophobia, computophobia, fear of competition, or can't believe I'm saying this, but claustrophobia, fear being crowded in. And that is something that I dealt with. You see, there are many phobias in fear. But what's the difference between having a phobia and just being scared? You see, when you have just a type of fear, there are times you can get over it. Just deal with it. But you still feel scared, but you're able to deal with it and go through with it. But in phobias, most of the time, it's hard to go through with it. To the point where it's like you're so scared of it that you can't even go near it. You can't even think of it. Even when you think of it, it gets worse. Like, take for example, Ron, Harry Potter. He had a real fear of spiders. And I remember every time I would always see a Harry Potter movie or read the books, there's always a moment where Ron's fear of spiders will come up. Like, he's that scared of spiders. And when people thought, well, they think I got over it. Tiny bit, but he's still scared. Like, heck, a lot of people get scared of bugs. Sometimes people just get scared of something. Heck, if you guys ever seen the Maury Show, and this was before the whole, like, you are the father. You ain't the father. Yeah. They used to do moments about phobias. There was also clownophobia, or maybe a different name for it, but a fear of clowns to the point where you can even go near them. Like, it gives you a heart attack. Most people thought, oh, that's just a kiddish thing. Phobia is just a kid thing. They'll grow out of it. Oh, no, they don't. And the worst thing, okay, parents, do me a favor. If your kids are scared of that kind of phobia, do not freaking try to think. Getting them more closer to it and literally trying to, like, think you're going to deal with it, it's going to make them better. No. That just it either makes them better, but the chances of it, like, making it far worse is very high. So don't do that, parents. I learned that the hard way when, like, I was forced to watch The Exorcism a lot when I was a kid. See, the thing is, phobias and like, the fears and the phobias is literally something that people deal with. But it's most of the time to the point where we can't even sleep at night because of it. Like, so much that it'll take over. And heck, the one thing we wish that we really don't have is the agoraphobia. And that's mostly the fear of leaving a place or leaving a house. And the thing about agoraphobia, guys, is, yeah, that's when you know, yep, you're in a situation where it's super duper hard. Like, damn. See, only thing is, fear isn't everybody, but, like, that's the thing, We try many ways to get rid of fear. We try many ways to conquer it. And sometimes people are scared to say what their fear is because they're really scared, like, people will laugh at them. Like, that's what adults even feel like too, They just think it's a kid thing. Even kids will say the same thing. It's like, wow, look at little Timmy there. He's scared of chalk. Ooh, chalk is scary. Ooh. Look at Henderson there, guys. Man, look at this guy right there. He's a 40-year-old man, and he's afraid of freaking cowboy hats. Ooh, that's so ridiculous, you guys. And the worst thing I hate is the people that laugh at him. They does this. Hey, I know what to do now. Why don't we go pull a prank on him? I'm gonna pretend to be a robbery cowboy and then spook him. It's gonna be so fun. Let's do it, guys. Yeah, funny or not, that's a jerk move. Don't do that. See, phobia or not, I'm being honest. Like, they're scared of something. Don't try to go too overboard with it. And I get it, you see those YouTubers do those kind of pranks, but seriously, the last thing you want to do is literally increase that actual prank. Like, you don't want them to get so scared to the point they'll have a heart attack. That's how phobias are, Like, the more they get scared to it, the more it's gonna make it worse. And even phobias have a backstory to it. Like, seriously. Maybe Timmy, who's afraid of chalk, he was scared of chalk because either the way his teacher used it or what happened to him. Maybe he kept writing on the board too many times to the point it got to him. And the other guy who was scared of cowboy hats, maybe he's scared because he literally dealt with someone who was wearing a cowboy hat. See, that's the thing about phobias, Sometimes there's a backstory to it. And the last thing you want to do is give that person a PTSD moment. That's how it scares them. Now, how does that relate to me? Do I have some sort of phobia? Honestly, no, but I do have OCD. And yeah, most of you guys can say that's a mental health. How does that relate to fear and phobias? Kinda. You see, back in the days, I didn't have that much help with my fear. And the most advice I ever got was, suck it up, be strong. You gotta toughen it out with it. Was that from my parents? No, that was basically from my teachers, my coach, and others. If you guys are wondering, yes, I used to be an athlete. I used to be a martial artist. See, the thing is, like, how bad did my fear get to me? What was my fear? Well, the thing was, like, I'm going to keep that part private. Not because of humiliation, because, like, I just don't want to put the fear into others, That's another real reason why people are scared to say their fear. But then again, if I don't say it, then yeah, I'm just going to be like, those other people are scared. Okay, look. My fear was basically a bunch of stuff. You know, like sometimes I would get scared about like what's gonna happen next, or I would actually get scared like, you know, if I screw up. I was so undecisive to the point that I started overthinking it too much that yeah, it got me to got me to OCD. And I'm being honest, I wasn't even born with OCD. Like I would like this literally came to me. Back in the days, my phobia of it, like I kept staying away from it, but yeah, you know, there were times I couldn't. Like it's just hard. My phobia was like also being, well, how do I say this? Part of my phobia is scary dolls. Now, why is that my fear moment? Let's just say, yeah, don't ever be next to a. People could relate to me, just be honest. Don't be next to a family member that would want to force you to watch scary movies with the entire family. And yet, the one movie that you hate to watch is either Chucky or any kind of scary doll movie to the point it gets the crap out of you. God damn, I was still young. They didn't like it. But yeah, I could handle Ash vs. Evil Dead. Or I could handle the Saw movies. Yes, I'm a fan of Saw, okay? And Scream. Kind of good. Freddy Krueger. Yeah. See, the thing is this. That was part of my phobia. The dolls. And, like, was that part of my OCD? No. But there were moments where it did help, like, increase it. So that was my story of it. How did I conquer through it? Okay. Now this is the part where I'm going to tell you the last part. How do you conquer through your phobias? In honesty, guys, here's my advice. Go to a professional. Like, not either a psychiatrist, but I first recommend a psychiatrist to a therapist. And I know some of my fans will say, but wait, in your last video of mental health, aka your first episode, you said the same thing. Like, is that always going to be an option? Not always. And here's the real reason why. Because, okay, I could give you my methods, but in reality, if they don't work the way they do, then you got to go to a professional. Because they're going to help you go with a process that you feel comfortable with. You see, it's like, still, others might actually be, you know, like others might have different fears, but the thing is, like, you want to make sure you do the process differently. Like, okay, yes, I'm scared of haunted dolls sometimes. A bit most of the time, but mostly sometimes. And how did I conquer it? My therapist that my psychiatrist helped me find, they freaking gave me like strategies, motivation, and ways to overcome that fear. And for me, okay, I'm going to tell you this. I could tell you the professional way and the geeky way. It's like a mixer. See, professional way is this. Whatever your fear is of it, you don't just have to also understand the backstory of it. You also have to understand was like, how can it harm you now? You know, like, take for example, clown phobia. Most people think, oh, clowns are like scary, they look evil. In honesty, guys, in the movies they portray them as evil. Like, I'm serious. In the movies, they just portray them as evil because of Pennywise or Killer Clowns or Joker. But in honesty, like, okay, I've been to a kid's birthday party and I've actually seen a clown. Was this clown scary? No. He was nice. He didn't go there just to scare people. He didn't want to scare people. He just wanted to make people laugh and bring them joy. I even asked him, do you like his job? And he said, it's a good job. And plus, it's also good helping the kids laugh too. And one thing I even wondered was, why clowns? Is it because of makeup? Guys, look, I'm going to say this. Saying that clowns are scary is literally equivalent. Like saying anybody who wears makeup is scary. A little bit they are. And also, let's say that, maybe nuns are scary, or priests are scary. Police officers are scary. See, that's the thing about some phobias, There are times where either movies or articles or, like, even our minds would make it look scary to us. And the one thing we hate is, like, maybe sometimes those articles were true. Maybe there were some, like, real life serial killer clowns. Or maybe there was, like, an actual evil nun. But not all of them are. You see, the thing is, once you start thinking like that, that's when the phobia increases. And do I like clowns? Yeah, they're funny too. Do I like killer clowns? Like serial killer ones? If I ever deal with the serial killer one, I'm going to use one of my swords up there. Beat the shit. See, here's the thing. Serial killers, yes, they're scary, but don't forget, it's the same thing like an article can say. Anybody could be a serial killer. But we can even tell who is, and we can find a way to, make sure we either report them or do something about it. One thing you need to realize is that, like, that's how phobia goes. You get the feeling that, whatever scares isn't going to kill us. So what we want to do is, 1, we think it through. 2, we calm ourselves down. And 3, we want to make sure that this fear cannot control us. Like, let's say this. I really need to go to the hospital. And I found out that my mother is in the hospital. I'm going to go over there right now. But wait. What do I see in the entry? A bunch of clowns? Oh my god, oh my god. Now, see, that's the thing. You see the clowns there because they're scary. And that's your mind also trying to make it look scary. But you control your mind. What you got to do is make sure that you know how to actually reverse that. Now, how can that work? Maybe just try to think of the funny clowns. But make sure that you see the clowns are what they're really doing. None of them are killer ones. Your mind don't want you to feel like that. And yeah, sometimes we need that instinct, but in honesty, we just want to make sure that instinct doesn't go too crazy. The moment you fight that clown, yeah, but it's also the fact that not all clowns are bad. Not all phobias are bad. Like, yeah, spiders, they can be dangerous, but you got to make sure that you know how to shoo it away. If it's a real poisonous one, yeah, just stay back. You see, that's what you got to do. For me, here's the geeky method that I learned, and this is what I mean. Find a professional because they can help you more better in your way. We did a method called the 3 hero method or the 3 character method. Now, I have 4 actually. When it comes to a phobia of mine, like a horror movie one, like haunted dolls or any scary dolls, I sometimes would picture myself with Ash Williams. Now, I know what you guys are going to say, like, why Ash? Like, how come you couldn't choose RoboCop or Rambo? Because, okay, RoboCop and Rambo, or Judge Dredd, they're pop culture. And even in Batman or Superman, they're comics. But this is horror movie type. And I want to make sure that in this horror movie type, at least there's like a hero in this. And what horror movie did I watch that had a hero? Ash from Evil Dead. So what do I figure? Don't just be like him, but also stay strong like him. Be groovy like him. And heck, I did. Like, there were moments where I even seen haunted dolls, and well, not fully haunted dolls, but scary looking ones. There were moments where I almost felt scared, but I was like, nah, I gotta feel like Ash. I have to make it look like that, I'm cool with this and I'm strong with it. And heck, I even got the chainsaw hand. Yes, I'm a cosplayer. Next episode or later on, I'll talk about that. See? That's the thing about actual, like, cosplay, guys. You want to make sure you know how to do it. But, alright, enough about cosplay. We're mostly talking about how to conquer your fear. See, I found a method for my horror story, like, for my horror movie. The other ones, I had to get other characters to help me, inspire me, to feel like they're giving me their strength. They're giving me the courage and the energy of their ways. One of them is Superman. Yes, it is. That's for a different one. The other one's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know others are going to say, like, Obi-Wan, really? Hey, I'm a Star Wars fan. Star Wars for life. You can see by my shirt. And you could see on my lightsaber. The third one, the fourth one is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Now, why Sora? He fights for the light, fights for good, and he's kind, and he likes to protect his friends and family. That's what I love. And that was my method that helped me out. And what was part of my story through this? When I was dealing with my OCD or my phobias, I literally followed that technique and it helped. And I was like, yeah, I've thought, oh, maybe I'm dealing with the paranormal, or maybe I'm going to deal with, like, an actual doll, like, killer doll, or maybe maybe a serial killer. But wait a minute. Who can I think of who fought monsters like this? Even in the comics, their own comics, the old horror movies. Ash. Yeah, I know Ash sometimes was screw up, but at least he tried to do whatever it takes to fix it. That's all like Ash. Wacky and groovy. We like him. Superman helps with one of my phobias, and that's part of my OCD. Obi-Wan as well, and Sora does too. See, the thing is not the geeky method. You can mix it with the professional method, because the thing is, this is a professional tactic as well. You see, when you think of 3 somethings, you can either think of 3 items, 3 family members, but for me, it was 3 characters. And that's how it worked for me. You guys can do the same. Fear and phobia. Everybody has it, but what's the definition of being brave? You're brave for literally going through your fear. And for that actual story about Timmy going through, like, the clowns to get to his mom, that was bravery for him. Because he literally didn't just conquer his fear, he broke through it for his mother. That was one of the 3 things he loved. Not 3 things, 3 people he loves. And yes, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper because this show's not scripted. Yeah, I'm a Dr. Pepper fan. Hey, a Dr. Pepper a day keeps the doctor away. Wait, the doctor already, so I'm confused. Point is this, guys. Everybody has fear and phobia. You can try to overcome it in your way, but if you do need professional help or any kind of help, speak to a psychiatrist and literally speak to a therapist so that way to help you. Because you want to make sure the thing doesn't take over to the point where you literally are dealing with agoraphobia. That's the last thing we want to deal with. From a fear to a phobia, then to more phobia to the point where we can't leave the house. Or worse. That's the last thing we want. So everybody, just follow those ways and yeah, it'll get better. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Jonathan Talk. I am Jonathan Mejia, and I will see you in the next episode. So, peace.